Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, in this live show, we are going to be discussing, obviously, our victory, 2-1 victory against Charlton over the weekend. We're going to do what you usually do, go through the key moments, share our thoughts throughout, and be good to hear what you guys think as well as we go along too. But hope you're all doing well and welcome in if you're just tuning in. Obviously, stream 1 of 2 this evening because I will be back at 8 o'clock for the preview to tomorrow night's game against Leyton Orient, of course, which I will be doing a watch along to as well. So lots going on the channel. So but we're gonna get into this game in a minute as well. But first of all, but let's say a few hellos. Blue Terriers' super Jacob Chapman goal. Yeah, he's becoming a bit of a revelation, isn't he? Absolutely. He's took his chance and he's fantastic. He is a good keeper and certainly one that has had to bide his time. And now he's got his chance. He's took it with both hands and now with a run of games, it's just nice, isn't it? You know, I know obviously took Nichols to get injured, but I'm happy for Chapman that he's been able to get his opportunity and take it as well. So yeah, absolutely super Jacob Chapman. And Aiden's in, hi mate, are you okay? Yeah, hello Aiden, how are you doing? Welcome on in as always. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you've had a good day. And he says, make sure to smash likes and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, big up to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. We don't care about Brank. We only care about HFC, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. We don't care about our noisy neighbours. There's only one Nathan Jones, yes, who, of course, got a yellow card in the game. No surprise there. But we are going to get into the game, but I was going to say something, I've forgotten what I was going to say, which is why I kind of stuttered. But so like I said, we're going to go through the game. If anybody does want to come on at the end of the show, I will put the link in the chat as a bit of a call-in towards the end of the show if you want to come on and air your views, or if you want to say anything about the club at the moment or whatever, come on. Be posting a link at the end, towards the end of the show, if you do want to do that. But I know obviously some people do like just to stay in the chat and share their thoughts there. But look, let's get stuck into it then without further ado. I've missed about too long here. Let's have a look at the starting lineup then for the game, because obviously there were a few interesting points in this. I mean, look, obviously Koroma started with Healy up top. Obviously Radulovic and Marshall making way to the bench. Helic remained on the bench, which I was a bit surprised about because he had got, 60 odd minutes in the game against Man United under 21s. So I thought he would potentially be ready to start, but he didn't. But fair enough. Just let him get back to full fitness fully first, I guess. But I thought he would be ready at this point. Hogg and Yorpender back on the bench. Yorpender, you can see Yorpender back on the bench. Obviously, Hogg as well, back from injury. But look, obviously full lineup: Jacob Chapman, Matty Pearson, Ben Wild, Josh Koroma, Reece Healy, Mikael Miller, of course, Herbie Kane, Brody Spencer, of course, David Kasumu, Nigel Longvine, and Tom Lees. Obviously, Tom Lees was the captain. Now, Honestly, I thought in the first half, I think we dominated the game in terms of possession. I thought, Miller was really on point with his delivery and into the box throughout the game, especially in that first half. Though I thought in the first half, the more I watch of Miller, the more I just think, wow, what a player you are. And I think had he have not had the injuries in his career, you probably would be looking at a really higher, be playing higher up in the divisions, in the championship, definitely. But because of his injuries, he's obviously not been able to cement his place in the championship side. But Miller, I thought he was brilliant in the way he was pinging those balls in. And I think another thing that I kind of noticed early on as well in this game is the fact that Charlton were just wanting to frustrate us. Slowing the game down, as much as they could, going down every little touch. And I thought they had their game plan to try and just really frustrate us and stifle us. And to be honest with you, I felt frustrated throughout this match, to be honest with you, when I was watching the game, obviously, in the stadium. But obviously, we eventually got the result in the end. But it was a kind of a frustrating afternoon because of what Charlton was doing. They were just making it. A lot of teams come to the Johnstone anyway and do that. We're going to have to get used to it because a lot more teams will be doing that as well when they come here. Obviously, I thought we did start the game well, like I said, and obviously we took the lead in the 13th minute, courtesy of a brilliant delivery in from Miller. Who else? Onto the head of Matty Pearson, who headed home. I thought it was it was a perfect delivery, and Pearson really, really wouldn't have missed that anyway. So yeah, he took it he put it in the back of the net. And like I said, it was a good start from him. We were deservedly in front at that point. Obviously, I think it was kind of apparent to me as well that Duff obviously was, clearly told the team to get the ball down the channels and behind the Charlton defence. And obviously, it was paying off at this point. Good opening 20 minutes for us. And I thought Kane as well, by the way. Kane had a really solid first 25 minutes. I think it's the best we've seen him in the blue and white stripes, for sure. The fact that he has the ability, to switch the game quickly from one side of the pitch to the other. And I think he did that very well. In this game. But I think he really is finding his groove now, and he's a key component in that midfield. And he's when he has the ball, you don't feel like he's going to lose it. You feel like you're with at ease when he's got the ball because the ball just seems to stick to his foot somehow. But now Charlton did get a penalty, totally against the run of play. Spencer, for me, again, exposed defensively, giving away the penalty. I thought the player that did go down was looking for it, but I think that when you make that action, to try and get the player down, if you're lunging in a little bit, to speak, I think you are giving the referee a chance to give a penalty. But he did look a bit soft, but having looked back at it, probably was the right decision, but, didn't look like it was at the time. So I was a bit aggrieved by that when I was in the stadium. But obviously Matty Gordon obviously slotted it home from the spot. It was 1-1. Obviously, then we had to make an early substitution. Pearson had to be brought off, who was replaced by Hellick. But it takes a lot for Pearson to come off the pitch. We know what a warrior he is. And he came off and it doesn't look so great, according to what Duff said today as well. And obviously, I think that was the initial reaction after the game as well. It didn't look too good. It looks like he may have a lengthy spell on the sidelines again. I think really, though, in that period, like just before the penalty and leading up to the big other talking point that I'm going to get into in a moment. the tensions were really running high in this match. And like I said, Charlton's strategy to really try and rile us up a bit did work, because it was getting a bit heated. But then obviously the big talking point then was obviously the sending off for Charlton. Now, obviously, Greg Doherty was sent off for an awful challenge on Lonwijk, and he was rightly sent off. For me, I think it was very dangerous, and he didn't need to do that. So, yeah, for me, I know some people maybe have said that it should have just been a yellow card, but I think really it should have been it was a red. So the referee, did send him off. And then just before half time, guess who slips up and goes down? Yes, that's right, Reece Healy, who had to come off again after pulling his hamstring. I knew as soon as he got out of that stride there, and he started holding the back of his leg, back of his hamstring, back of his leg, whatever. I knew it was again another injury layoff. I've got a few things to say about Healy, to be honest with you, towards the end of the show, but I'm just tired of this guy now, unfortunately. I just think he's on the payroll. Okay, can't help, if he's just an injury-prone player, these things happen, but it's just frustrating because it's probably frustrating for him as well, but obviously it's frustrating for us as well as fans, and obviously the club as well, because we need him on that pitch because we know how good he is, but he just can't stay fit. So, look, a double injury blow before the break, and he did finish. We did go into half-time. I'll get to the comments in a moment, guys, but I appreciate you being here, of course. But you got to half-time, obviously 1-1 now. I think it was a really eventful 45 minutes, wasn't it? Obviously, both sides going level at the break. Obviously, Pearson with the opener before Charlton converted the penalty to get them back into the game. The Doherty, like I said, got a straight red card. So obviously, Charlton down to 10 men for the rest of this one. Kane and Lonwijk, for me, both superb for us so in that first half. And Pearson, Healy, and also Miller as well. And Pearson and Healy both off injured. It's a big concern because you're going into this period now where you need as many players as you can, because we know how busy this period is coming up now into Christmas. And, it's just relentless. We need as many players as we can. And, losing... Okay, Healy really is being more on the sidelines more than he's been available. But Pearson, I think Pearson's going to be a big loss, especially with his goals. But also, to be fair to him, he's done fairly well at the back. I will give him that. I'm not his biggest fan. Probably people know that. But, he does do... He's an old-fashioned defender, I guess. So he'll be a big miss. Now, let's go to the comments before we get into the second half, guys. Apologies for even this a bit. I was in my stride there and discussing the first half. Joshua, good evening, Ryan. Hope you've had a great day and hope you're okay. Hello, Joshua. How are you doing? Welcome in. Sorry, I've kind of been a bit of a while since I posted that, but hope you're well. Ian says, was it just me or didn't you get the feeling that we won today? Because in my opinion, I didn't feel like we won. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to my mate the other day about this, actually, how, look, I mean, when we win games, it's like, it's just expected. Because we're expected to win a majority of these matches that we're playing this season. So when we win, it's like, we won. But then when we lose, obviously, it's like this similar feeling. It's weird. And I just think I put it down to the fact that we are in League One, and I don't know. We didn't. It was a bit of an ugly win on Saturday, to be fair. I thought the conditions on Saturday as well didn't help the situation, did it? With the wind and rain, and I was wrapped up. I had 3 or 4 layers on. I'm sure everybody else was the same, whoever went. But it was a very cold one. So it was very wet day, wasn't it? But I get what you mean. I had that kind of feeling as well a little bit, to be honest with you. What disappointed me is we take too many touches around the box, just get it in the box. Yeah, we do, don't we? We try and it's as if we're trying to we don't know what. When they get to near the box, it's like they don't know what to do with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're passing it around, and it's just like, what are you doing? Get men in the box and get the ball in. You know what I mean? And yeah, we are a bit tippy tappy sometimes, aren't we? With touches around the box. Surprised by the player who went down was reminded as Green. Obviously, he went off, didn't he? If Reece wasn't so injury prone, he wouldn't be playing for us. Fair enough, I guess. A good point, but the fact that he's with us, he's just been a disaster since he's come through the door, really, hasn't it, really? Yes, he's scored goals, but the other thing is with Healy is you get 1 or 2 games and he's out injured again, so you don't ever get to see him for a prolonged spell, fortunately. Healy, by the way, I don't think he cared about the club because he went down injured but didn't wait for the physio, just got up and started walking to get checked over. I think, to be fair, I just think he knew. He just knew. When I think a player knows when that's it, their game over. I don't think, because sometimes it's like injuries, the players go down and not sure what I've done here, so they get it checked over on the field. But if the player knows what he's done, which was clearly evident what he did, obviously, because he, when he got out of third gear, see, then he pulled up and held the back of his calf. But so yeah, I'm not too sure he doesn't care about the club, but I just think he just knew what he'd done, really. Go for Healy, Adam says, definitely need 1 or 2 decent strikers in January. We know how we know how light we are up front. Well, not light, but light in quality. And yeah, I agree. We definitely do. We need to go into the market in January, but again, I go back to it. I won't stop saying it. We need somebody in the recruitment team that can find some players for us. Unless we're going to go for proven players, that anybody knows about if you watch football, at this level. So yeah, I don't know, but still, I don't have faith in the board to get the right decision or even get the deals over the line. To be honest with you, because we saw what happened in the summer. But I agree there, Adam, absolutely. Mate, tell us who Dove brought on to replace Healy. Don't forget Marshall was on the bench. Yeah, I forgot about that. My good old pal, Bojan Radulovic, my good old friend, came on to the field of play. And guess what? Flattered to deceive once again. But yeah, no, I forgot about that. And Marshall was sat on the bench, and I was scratching my head when he brought Bojan in, to be honest with you, because I thought to myself, you've got Marshall on the bench there, who, yes, has maybe slowed down a little bit in recent weeks. He's been a bit quiet in and out of games, you know what I mean? But I think what I will say is that Marshall is still young. This is his first proper prolonged spell in the men's game, because I know obviously he did go out on last season to West Brom, was it? We didn't really get much game time there. This is the most time he's consistently played in the men's game since stepping up from the academy level, and I think that might be playing a little bit of a factor at the moment because he's still adjusting, and you know what I mean. So I think he has gone off the ball a little bit, but he still offers a lot more than Bojan does, and I would have preferred to see Marshall come on anyway. But yeah. And Blue Jay says, neither Ward or Ladapo are playing for the B team tonight. Could they be involved tomorrow? Well, I think Ward injured again. And Ladapo, I'm not really interested, to be honest with you, on him because he's just a waste of time. You may as well just not even think about him being at the club because he's as useless as they come. So, yeah. I forgot the B team were playing tonight, weren't they? The club haven't really promoted that tonight because I did see it last minute. It's at the John Smiths, isn't it? Probably I didn't see it until 6 o'clock before we went live here. I thought, oh, the B team are playing tonight. I probably would have gone, to be fair, if I would have known about it. But I mean, be fair, I probably could have just quickly gone, but I'd already had my streams planned anyway. So anyway, I'm waffling on. But look, let's talk about the second half then. I thought we went to the second half, and I think, really we started off really slow. Obviously, you could see Duff was quite mad on the touchline at the slow start. So it remained 1-0. Now, it was pretty evident that we were going to have to break down this Charlton side at this point as they slowly resort to getting all 10 men behind the ball. So yeah, they weren't really being that adventurous when they had it. They were just sitting behind the ball and allowing us to have the ball. But we finally did make the breakthrough, obviously. We scored a second goal, to go ahead. It was a brilliantly well-worked goal, this, wasn't it? Obviously, Kane and Spencer work it beautifully down the right hand side before Kane. He chops inside at the edge of the box, rolls it into Kasumu, who then smashes it into the low bottom-hand corner. I think it was actually his weak foot as well, and it was a sweet strike. And what the saying is, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And it was worth an effort from there. Obviously, it went in, and it was fantastic, obviously. And it was a good, well-worked goal for sure. Now, Duff was already getting the substitutions ready for that goal went in. So obviously, Crone and Spencer made way for Turton, and Marshall enters the field of play. And then there was a big chance for Charlton. Helling forgets to jump and misses his header before Longvite gets beaten to the ball by Leoburn, who was a handful all afternoon, wasn't he? That Leoburn up front, tall, young striker that's come through their academy. I mentioned him in my preview show, actually. He was getting on my nerves a little bit when he was going down too easily, though. But to be fair to him, he's a very good player, and I did think he did well for them. And I think Charlton were just playing the direct ball all afternoon, to be honest with you, up to him. But anyway, Leoburn beats Longvite to the header, but it just whistles past the post, his header. And you really did feel like we need to, to kill this game off at this point. We just let Charlton just still have a little bit of hope that they could get back into it, I think, and rather than trying to maybe go for the third goal. Obviously, into the final 15 minutes, obviously we were just making hard work of it, in my opinion. And in that second half, I don't know about anybody else, but it felt like they had 11 men and we had 10, because they were coming forward and you know what I mean, and they were having more of the ball than I thought they would do when they went down to 10 men. But in the second half, they seemed to be looking more dangerous. They looked like scoring more than us. And then obviously we just managed to get a goal. But But obviously full time, obviously it did finish 2-1. And obviously goals from Pearce and Kasum got the job done against 10-man Charlton, who had a man sent off in the first half. A huge 3 points for us, really, wasn't it? It takes up to 5th in the league. Now unbeaten our last 6 games. Also, we've won 6 in a row at home. So we're making our home a fortress, which is important. It was a big 3 points, to be honest with you. It was an ugly win. Because like I said, it wasn't, like Aiden reminded us earlier, it wasn't a game where you walked away and thought, you know what, really played well today. We deserved to win it, and we felt like we won the game. You didn't feel like that. I thought Kane was outstanding. The birthday boy. He's best in a town shirt, in my opinion, on Saturday. I think he was brilliant. And he did show his quality throughout. as well. But yeah, we are going to get to some player ratings actually this evening because I haven't really done that much. But I'm going to have a look at the stats as well in a moment. Mate, what was your thoughts on the referee on Saturday? In my opinion, it was 50-50. Yeah, I mean, he was 50-50, and I did feel like he didn't have any control of that game whatsoever, did he? You know, he was allowed. You know, another thing that annoyed me as well. Every time that Charlton had a throw in, especially on our side, on my side, right, with that where I am, they were probably doing it down the other side as well. But they were constantly being allowed to just keep going forward the ball when they had throw-ins. They just kept pinching so many yards forward. But yet when it was us, he wouldn't let us go back. So it's like it doesn't really make any sense. I thought the referee wasn't the best, to be fair, at all. And yeah, to be honest with you, we always get, the referees have never really for us, to be honest with you. I know he sent off one of their players, but it was a dangerous tackle anyway. But I just think he was so inconsistent, to be honest. So yeah. Now let's have a look at the stats, and then we're going to do some player ratings this evening, and then I will put the link in if anybody does want to jump on. You can come on, but I just need to change the layout a minute. I'm going to put myself into that corner there and get these stats up. So obviously we had the 13 shots, so we had plenty of chances ourselves, by the way, and we missed. Again, I go back to the clinical side of things. We aren't clinical enough. And we're saying the same thing every week. But I just think that if we aren't clinical enough, then it's clear to see that the problem is that we haven't got the quality up front. We haven't got the clinical strikers up front to be able to... so it's no surprise that we're not being clinical. But it's still frustrating still. 8 shots they had. We had 6 on target. We scored, obviously, 2 of them. And they had the 1 shot on target. So they did have good chances, but they just couldn't get their shots on target, Charlton. Obviously, the possession, 68% for us, 32% for them. Obviously, we had a lot more passes than them. Passing accuracy, 76% for us, 44% for them. And a few other stats there, really, that I'm not going to get into. Obviously, they had 7 corners. That was when they were putting us under pressure. And we had the 4. So, yeah. So, let's go into the ratings. Now, by the way, I'm going to get some ratings up from SofaScore. But these are not my ratings. I'm going to kind of share my opinions on each of the ratings. But I wanted to put a base up for us to look at that SofaScore has said these ratings. But yeah, here we are then. So I'm just going to... You can just about see it, can't you, with the banner. So Chapman obviously didn't have much to do in the goal. But he did do well when he was called upon. He's got a 6.6 here from SofaScore. For me, I'm going to go for a 7. I'm feeling generous. I know he didn't have much to do, but I still think he was composing the goal. He did give it. He was a bit wasteful with the ball, but I do put that down to the weather as well. I'm not making an excuse for him, but I do think the wind was swirling around and the rain as well and stuff like that. So it wasn't an easy afternoon, for the players really. Obviously, Matty Pearson, 7.1 according to SofaScore. For me, yeah, I think obviously I'm going to have to go a bit higher than that. I'm probably going to go for a 7.5 for Matty Pearson. Tom Lees did what he needed to do. I'm going to give him a 7. Nigel Longvike, again, the more we see of him, he does look good. There's a few moments where he's a bit shaky, but I think he's feeling more settled in the side now. And we are getting to see him be a bit better each week. And Longvike, for me, gets a 7. I'm being very generous with these scores this evening. No surprise after a win. Brodie Spencer on the wing backs, of course. For me, I'm going to give him a 6. I think, again, I'm just a bit like hit and miss with Spencer. Defensively, he's a bit shaky. And he's just not looking the same player as what we've seen in the past. And I just think a 6 is a fair score for him, really. Because he does look to be struggling a little bit at times. And I'm not sure what's happened, really. Because we did see good part, he was a lot better earlier on in the season. Or last season, he was a lot better last season as well. But so for me, a 6 for him. Now, Ben Wiles in the middle there. Sofa Score's giving him a 7.5. For me, I probably would go with a 7.5 as well, to be honest with you. I think he did do well in that midfield. Obviously saw a lot of the ball. Herbie Kane, for me, I thought he was outstanding. And he has to get my highest score of an 8. I think an 8. Yes, he got booked, but I think he just controlled that midfield very nicely. And I thought he was involved in the goal as well. And one of the goals. So I thought he was brilliant. And he got an assist, obviously, for the goal. Sorry, he played the ball into Kasumi, didn't he? I think that was his best game we've seen, Kane. David Kasumu, and in fact, I forgot to put the link in. Guys, we are going to the call-in show, and I'm going to put the link in if anybody wants to come on. And I've just realised that actually, I'm not sure how to paste on here. Hang on. Still getting used to this laptop, and we will get to the comments. Sorry, Aidan, I will get to your comment in a moment. Just going to quickly get the link for you guys if anybody wants to come on. Right, so there's the link, guys. If you do want to come on and have your say on the match or how the season's going, whatever you want to come on and say, the link is in the chat. You could maybe get one person on here to discuss and share their viewpoints with me. It'd be good. But Aidan, I miss your comment here. Did I agree and give him Chapman a 7 because he basically said it right at the end when our players went to sleep? Yeah, he did absolutely. So I think Chapman was... he did. He's doing just well. He's doing very well, isn't he? For at the moment, he's getting better each game. So the link. Come and speak with me. Share your thoughts on the club, how you think the season's going, and this game. If you this game as well. Obviously, if you've got any thoughts to share, feel free to come on. But anyway, continuing. So David Kasumu. Again, got the goal and was really good. But for me, I'm going to go for a 7.5. I think Kasumu he did play well. Miller, again, I said how well he played as well in this game. Just the fact that he just seems to have it all, doesn't he? And I think that his composure on the ball, obviously, like the deliveries in this game, he was on top form. If only we had some strikers to get on the end of those balls that he puts into the penalty area. But he's doing his job, that's for sure. Defensively, look, he puts in a lot of yards, doesn't he, throughout a match, and defensively he's great getting back and helping. So yeah, for me, I'm going to give Miller. SofaScore's giving him a 7.6, which is very accurate indeed. But I think he's a very close man of the match. But I'm going to give the man of the match to Kane. But I think he deserves a 7.8. I'm going to be very precise. He did well, but he kind of slowed up in the second half, maybe. For me, that's my rating for him. Healy obviously came off injured. When he was on the pitch, did all right, but he wasn't doing much, really, was he? So for me, I'm going to have to give him a 6. I don't think he was that great, to be honest with you. And Josh Koroma had a little bit of a quiet one, didn't he? He couldn't really get in the game. I think really Josh didn't play that well. So the score's giving me a 6.5. Yeah, probably give him a 6.5 as well. Just on the basis that I think he was trying, but I just don't think it was working for him, and he would just be quiet. And plus, Koroma has just come back from an injury. I think it's a shame, really, because, before he got injured, he was really starting to find his groove. He was scoring goals. He was looking really good. Whenever he had the ball, he felt like something was going to happen. And now he's had to restart that process again because obviously he's only just returned from injury. So I think with Koroma, he will get back to that level again, but it might take a few games. But yeah, and I'm sure we'll see him, back to his best sooner rather than later. But yeah, I do like Koroma, but he was quiet in this one. And then the substitutes, Hellick came on, did very well, absolutely. I give him a 7 for Hellick. Bojan, I think they've been very generous with this score, because I forgot to mention, Bojan, he came on and he did not affect the game whatsoever. He was awful, and I'm sorry. I'm just tired of this guy now. He and it's not just because he's not that good. It's the half-hearted nature of his game. He's jogging around. He don't look interested at all. Just looks way off the pace as well. I think he thinks he's still back in Finland playing on 4G or 3G, whatever he was playing on over there. He just looks completely out of his depth, unfortunately, even in League One. So, yeah, not looking good for him. And I've already kind of run out of patience, to be honest with you, because I just don't think he's showing anything whatsoever. He's not impacting games. He's not doing anything. He's not imposing himself on the defenders that he's up against. In fact, he just goes down and the littlest of touches. He's too lightweight. So, and he's not impacting anything in any way. So, yeah, I think for me, Bojan gets a 5. It's not good enough at all. Turton came on, and I thought he did well, to be fair. Turton, I think he's a good player. Probably going to give him a 6.5 because he wasn't on for long. Callum Marshall came on. Spencer. And I don't think he deserves a 6.8. He was a little bit quiet again, Marshall, in my opinion. He was trying. He did have a chance, didn't he, where he was like he was through a little bit and he ended up messing it up. But he's still young. He's still developing. His decision-making obviously not going to be that on point at this point in time. And he's still relatively new to the men's game, as I said. So probably give Marshall a 6.5 because I think he was trying. That I will give him that. Let me just, which he always does, to be honest with you. If you're watching Radulovic, you're like playing FIFA when you're playing, and some of your players are slow at running. That's what it's like watching him. Yeah, no, I agree. He's just awful, isn't he? He's too slow. I just think when I thought with run of games he would keep getting better, but he doesn't. He isn't, unfortunately. And like I said, I just think he's not good enough. So yeah, and that's why I was surprised when he came on when he did. You've got Marshall sitting there, and he puts Bojan on, which I just found baffling. But yeah, but look, the link is in the chat if anyone wants to come on. Have your say. We can have a look at the league table. In fact, we might save that for the next one. But yeah, that's my player ratings anyway. And we're just gonna get the table up, which I really should have done beforehand. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Share my screen. So here is the league table as it stands then now after that win. Obviously, Wickham continuing their good form at the top. 4 points clear now. And still got a game in hand on the teams around them. Obviously, O's in 5th. 26 points, so we're in the playoffs now. And if you think about it, if we win our game in hand, then we get closer to Wrexham. So, but obviously we do have to win that game to get. But yeah, it's looking good, but still want to see more, and I still want to see is just playing. I mean, I think we kind of pulling together some consistency now, especially at home. I think the away form needs to improve, but overall, being 5th, so that blip at the earlier on the season has kind of left us trailing, catching it with everybody else that got ahead of us. But yeah, obviously that's how it looks at the moment. But we just need to keep picking up those points and see where it takes us. Tick off each game as it comes and get those points in the bag, and that's what it's about. And then when you get close to that second, if we do manage to get close to that second, then the pressure's on the team, teams in the automatics to stay there then, and they'll feel that pressure. So we just need to just keep winning games. As easy as it sounds, it's not easy, but yeah, obviously it's still kind of tight still, isn't it? To be honest with you, but yeah, we just have to focus on ourselves and just keep picking up those points really. But yeah, that's the league table. I don't really think I've got anything else to say. Apart from, look, it was a good win. I'm happy that we got the win. Of course, it was a horrible game to watch, I must admit. But we got the job done, and you've got to grind out results sometimes, and you need to be on the right end of these kind of days, not the wrong side, and we were in this game, and yeah, I thought it was good to get the win, but we see what we can do in the next games. But I think it's just about taking it one game at a time. Like I said, I think Kasu's winner was great. Obviously, Pearson, coming with the goal. We're going to miss his goal for, aren't we, in the next few weeks? Obviously, if Duff spoke to the media today, and obviously they're having their scan. They will have had their scans today, so they're waiting results. So the next few days we'll definitely know how long Pearson and Healy are going to be out for. But it doesn't look good, to be honest with you. I think probably going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks. It's probably going to be 8 to 10 weeks again, isn't it? Which isn't good. Or 6 to 8 weeks then. But it doesn't look good. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But look, it was imperative that we won the game on Saturday, and we did. We got the job done against a team that really came here to really try and frustrate and stifle us and really get under our skin. And it nearly worked, because I felt like before the goal that we got the winner, I was starting to get really frustrated. I just really was, because they were slowing the game down. They were going down at every opportunity, and they were just making it a horrible game. Horrible. They're just making themselves a horrible team to play against. But I think we rode our luck in this game as well. I thought we rode our luck to win the game, but it doesn't really matter about that, I guess. But you still want to see more on that aspect, though. Like, you want to see it more convincing. But a win's a win. I do think when you go 2-1 up, you want to try and finish the game off, and we didn't do that. And Charlton seemed to really push for that equaliser towards the end. And obviously Chapman doing his business as well in the goal, helping us. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think that's kind of it. But as I said, I'm going to be back here at 8 o'clock for the preview to for the Leyton Orient game. I can't speak. Which we play tomorrow night. So tune in from 8 o'clock for that one, if you can. And yeah, I'll kind of discuss what I've got coming up on the channel this week in that one. But guys, hope you've enjoyed. Hope I've explained it. Hope I've explained how the game happened. I hope I did justice to how the game actually happened. Anyway, but look, thanks everybody for tuning in, and aim to see you at 8. Yeah, big up to you, Aiden. Yeah, we'll be back here at 8 for the preview. But yeah, a big win for us. Let's keep that momentum going tomorrow night, and let's try and get a win away from home. Seems to be a struggle away from home. We'll get into that and more later on. But guys, thanks for watching this. Make sure you do drop a like on the video if you can. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you're watching this on playback as well. On what you made of the game. So yeah, I'll see you all back here in over an hour's time. But a fantastic 3 points for the Terriers. Sees us get back into the playoff places in 5th place, heading into tomorrow night's clash with Leyton Orient. Up the town.